Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
So I am back. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Is it afternoon still? What time is it? Yeah, it's still afternoon. So good afternoon, everyone. So this was highly requested, and I haven't been on TikTok, so I didn't even see all of this, but I went down the rabbit hole. I found some interesting things. I just want to say, before I jump into this topic, trigger warning. If you're not in a good place, if you don't like the fact that you're single, this is not the video for you. Okay? If you're not in a good place when it comes to your singlehood, this is not the video for you. I'm giving you a fair warning right now because this is going to be very unpopular. So if you don't want to hear that, go ahead and click off the video, because I don't want to hear nothing in the comment section later. So if you don't want to hear none of that, you're not in a good place when it comes to your singleness, listen, go ahead and exit the video. Okay? All right. So next, I want to also say this, that I can't say that I disagree with any woman when it comes to this topic, because it's strictly based off of how she feels. And I'm not here to invalidate anyone's experiences. I'm not here to invalidate anyone's feelings. And I think that's important to say before I give my unpopular opinion, because honestly, when it comes to this entire situation, which we will be getting into, I can see everyone's point of view. And to some degree, I can actually say that I had an experience, or I used to be in this mindset, or I was in this mindset, and this is the mindset that I have transitioned into. So I don't want people to think that I haven't been in these mindsets that I'm about to get into when it comes to this video, because I have. I think every woman goes through this, and I think every woman, if you've ever experienced singleness while your friend is in a relationship or while your friend is getting married and things like that, you do have these feelings, and these feelings are valid. So I'm not here to invalidate that. My thing is, remember when I said I took myself out of the gender war space because of Valentine's Day? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Because people was just like, oh, you just want to be red pill. I said, it was Valentine's Day. I don't like this time of the year because of social media and Valentine's Day. Seriously. I stay off of social media when Valentine's Day is about to pop up. I got to go, because I already know what's about to happen. So do y'all see where I'm coming from? Do y'all see where I'm coming from with the planes that I was warning y'all about? And I was like, mark my words, this year is going to be different with the planes. And people wanted to drag me. And we seeing planes just drop left and right. I still plan to fly. I just will be taking my holy water, and I will be taking my Florida water when I go on these planes. That's all. I'm going to anoint the plane. If I got to anoint the captain, I guess that's what I got to do. But I'm not going to stop living my life. I just wanted to warn y'all, like, be careful out here. Pay close attention. Use your discernment. If something feels off, you go with that. You don't question it. You know, like, that's all I was saying. Because I'm going to Vegas. I got to go to my brother's wedding. Like, there's a lot going on. So let's get into today's topic. So this all started with a content creator by the name of Cindy. She's a mutual of mine on TikTok. I like her content. I love her takes. And she actually sparked a great conversation, regardless of where on the side of the spectrum you fall on when it comes to this conversation. Like, she did spark a great conversation. So her whole argument is, why would you tell your single friend to focus on self-love when you're in a relationship? So let's get into what she had to say, because that's where this all started. Hold on, let me see. Okay, here it is.
If it's not happening yet, you're not there yet. Like, when in your self-love journey, because no one's ever going to love you more than you love yourself. So you have to love yourself unconditionally. And then when you meet the right person, you're not going to seek them out for that kind of love, because you're going to already have it.
Respectfully, this advice is ass. And if I were your friend, we would have a very tough conversation following said advice, if you even want to call it that. And I'm not coming at Drew directly because she isn't the first person to give this terrible advice. I'm more so frustrated at the advice in and of itself. Those of y'all who hop into a relationship and begin preaching self-love to your single friends as if that's the reason why the sole reason why they're so single. Because by your logic, everyone who has found their person has high self-love and high self-esteem and has had it since day one. Can we please be for real? Can we please be for real? By this logic, everyone who has met their right person met them when they were at the highest point of their self-love and self-esteem. When in reality, sometimes it takes meeting and being with said person and them seeing you for you to see yourself in a better way as well. Y'all be saying this as if it is a requirement to turn in your self-love and self-esteem, and if it's at a certain level, then you get your person. As if luck and chance aren't the main players in how we tend to find our person. A lot of people who found their right person weren't right when they found them. What about them? A lot of people who found their person had to grow and evolve in being with said person, and it took being with said person for them to grow and evolve with. What about them? So they get to be an anomaly, but I gotta love myself more? Do you see what I'm saying? Because a person's relationship status is not indicative of their self-love. There are plenty of people who are partnered and their self-love is in the garbage, so please save it. Save it. I don't know why.
But is that really their person if their self-love is in the garbage and they with somebody? I just want to put on record that the worst Valentine's Day I ever had was when I was with a man. I had a secret admirer one year. That was a really good Valentine's Day. I've been single on Valentine's Day, had some amazing Valentine's Days. My worst Valentine's Day was when I was with a man. So comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of peace. Comparison is the thief of contentment. It is. So the worst Valentine's Day I ever had. And no, I don't have this outlook that now moving forward, every Valentine's Day with a man is just going to be the worst experience ever. It's just, it really put things into perspective that life is not always that simple, and that life is way more complex than that, and that life is not just black and white. So it was a humbling experience. What can I say? It was very humbling. And so my outlook on Valentine's Day is to spread love, to love on my loved ones, the ones that are still here, the ones that are in good health and in bad health, the fact that they're still alive. I'm able to love on them, love on myself. Like, I use Valentine's Day as an opportunity to just be in that good energy of feeling love and spreading it. Like, that's it. Because the worst Valentine's Day I ever had was with a man. I would get into what he did, but I'll just have to save that for another day. Maybe I'll do that on Patreon or something like that.
Y'all get so weird with people who are single on Valentine's Day. Why y'all aren't okay with people who are having a hard time with it, just having a hard time with it? Why do you feel the need to want to encourage or advise and try to take them out of that emotion? What is wrong with just sitting with them while they're in it? I've been single for the last 8 Valentine's Day. I am Galentine's and solo Valentine's out, babes. I've done it all. I'm good. I get it. And to expect for this to replace the romantic aspect while you have said romantic aspect.
I didn't take her video that way, but this is strictly just my opinion based off of my experience and my point of view. I really didn't take it that way. What a lot of women don't want to accept is that this whole love thing is out of your control. And you refuse to accept how out of control it really is. And this is why I don't really care for relationship advice, because the number one thing that they don't tell you is that it has to be the right place, right person, right time. Sometimes you get the combination of the right place, wrong person. Then sometimes you get the combination of right place, right person, wrong time. And then sometimes you get the combination of you just in the wrong damn place. This is why the relationship advice on social media is a gimmick to me. It is. It's like weight loss advice on social media with the waist trainers and the flat tummy tees. This is the reason why I don't give relationship advice. I give discernment tips when it comes to your life, not relationship advice. I'm very big on teaching women discernment because I've been violated. So my whole purpose on my channel is truly discernment. It's not relationship advice, because it really comes down to right place, right person, right time. And if those 3 things don't align, then you're out of luck. So not only is it right place, right person, right time, plus luck has to be on your side, but it's also that this is out of your control. So is it really bad advice though? Because the way I'm seeing it is, this is a woman that's in a relationship and she just so happened to be at the right place, right person, right time. And that's how she ended up in a relationship. And because she knows that, and that this whole love thing and finding your soulmate or whatever you believe in is 100% out of your control, she's going to redirect your focus back to self, because this whole love thing is out of your control. So she's wanting to put a positive spin on your thought process and have it redirect back to self, instead of you being negative about something that is 100% out of your control. I believe the story in the Bible is Boaz and Ruth. The only other option that you have is to increase your chances. So Ruth, she went out to that field, and she was out at that field. She made herself presentable. That's all she could do. That was the only thing that was in Ruth's control. But nothing outside of that was in her control. A lot of women like to focus on what's out of your control when it comes to a man or a relationship, and look at what it's doing to you. So yeah, Drew was speaking facts, because look at what it's doing to you when it comes to you putting yourself in lack, you having scarcity mindset, you being pessimistic about your situation. So of course she's redirecting your thought process to a more positive outlook as a friend. And if she's a really good friend, why wouldn't she do that? But if you only want to look at it from a negative lens, then of course you're going to miss the positivity. And then you're comparing yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. And this is something that a lot of women do not want to accept, because you have it already made up in your mind. Guy meets girl, girl meets guy, they fall in love, and life is just supposed to be that simple, and everyone gets a happily ever after. That's bullshit. It's not even real. So a lot of women are going to struggle with this. So have you came to the realization that this is out of your control? Have you accepted that this is out of your control. And the only thing that you have control over is self-love and possibly increasing your chances of meeting someone. That is it. That is it. So you putting yourself in lack, you putting yourself in scarcity, you putting yourself in this doubt or this negative thought process, look at what it's doing to you. It's creating anxiousness, it's creating loneliness, it's creating feeling left out or feeling like you're not worthy or you're not deserving. It's also creating anxiety. It's creating depression. Look at what it's doing to you by you focusing so much over something that is 100% out of your control. And so you're mad at your friend that's redirecting your thought process to self-love because she wants you to focus on what's in your control. And Valentine's Day is, I get it, like it's a day where you see couples, you see a lot of people that are in love, you see the commercials, you see how people are promoting this, you see the ads, you see the cute little videos and things like that. But at the end of the day, as a grown woman with, I would say, emotional maturity and emotional intelligence, you have to come to the realization that I have to accept something that I don't want to, but I have to accept that this thing is just out of my control and I don't have any control over it. Now, you could take the route, the sprinkle route, and try to manipulate your way to get the outcome that you want. You could do that. It may take some time, but that is an option if that's something that you want to do. But again, it goes back to, this is out of your control. It's out of your control. But let's continue.
So I've gotten a lot of you all's comments that say that her advice is correct and that self-love is the best love and self-love helps you to choose better and not be desperate. And so I want to explain in deeper meaning why I'm saying this advice is ass. The isolated advice of love yourself because it helps you to choose better and it helps you to navigate dating better is good advice by itself. The issue here is the context in which the advice is being given. She's giving this advice in response to her single friends being sad on Valentine's Day. And within that context, that's what makes this advice ass because...
We're going to get into how that clip was taken completely out of context because, y'all, what's so sad about this whole entire situation is that Drew gave a very detailed response to her friend, and it really wasn't, it has twisted and turned into this, oh, Drew was just giving her friend pity because she's single or he's single on Valentine's Day. And if you go and you actually watch the full clip, her advice was so solid. She actually covered all bases. She covered the base of, no, you don't get rewarded after you reach a certain level within your self-love journey that you get a man. Like, she actually redirected the conversation, and it was a very balanced response, which made it a really good take on her friend being single on Valentine's Day. I'll get to it here in a sec, but just wait for it because this is why I'm not on TikTok. It's crazy how someone can take a clip and take it completely out of context, even though it did spark great conversation, but completely taken out of context. And so now people are dragging this girl, and that is not what she said. She didn't even say that. And it's so scary how on TikTok, people will spread misinformation like that, and it just spreads like wildfire. And now everyone's going in on you, and that's not even what you said. So listen, we'll get into it here in a sec, but I'm gonna let her finish this up because she started this whole conversation on TikTok.
You're not reading the room. For one, Valentine's Day is not a day of celebrating self-love. The main thing we're celebrating on Valentine's Day is romantic love. And while yes, Galentine's and self-love times is a thing for Valentine's Day, that is not what is ultimately being pushed on social media and in real life. Celebrating romantic love is the main thing being pushed and the main thing you're being sold to for Valentine's Day. Let's be for real. So when someone is receiving all that messaging for Valentine's Day and they cannot relate because they are single, hearing love yourself more in that kind of space, it does not hit and it's not good advice in that space. Not to mention another reason why this advice is ass, and this is more directed towards Drew.
And I want to say that the reason I do agree with Cindy is because there are situations and scenarios out here that are like the way she's describing, but that is just not the situation here. And I want to make that known because this girl is getting dragged, and y'all know how I feel about girls getting dragged, dog piled, and it's just, and then this is completely out of context. This is not what she said at all. We're going to get into what she actually said. But the reason why I still agree with Cindy is because I've been in a situation regarding this, well, based off of what she's saying, like I've been on the receiving end of that conversation with a person that was implying, oh, all you need is more self-love, or all you need is to love yourself more, and then once you reach a certain level within your self-love journey, then you're going to get that companionship. And it was just bullshit. So even though Cindy is wrong as far as the context of the original post, she is right in the sense of these are conversations that are had, and there are people out here that give their single friend this advice, which is why I can say I do agree with her. Okay?
You have built your entire platform on shitting on men and calling them out for their behaviors. You are literally known for cussing men out for their shitty behaviors. You are known for men dogpiling on you and coming at you and you clapping back. So you know and have seen firsthand just how many men out here do not want women to love themselves. Just how many men out here want women to remain in the dark about their self-perception and their self-worth and self-value. So for you to have built your platform in this way and know personally just how many men out here are against the self-actualization of women, for your advice to your friends to still be, it's not the right time and love yourself more, given what your platform is about.
And see, this is where I disagree with Cindy, because I don't know if she watched the full episode or if she watched just her, Drew, giving the advice to the friend. But if she would have watched the full segment, I don't think she would be making these assumptions and creating this opinion. I don't. This is where I have to disagree, because once you see the full clip, you be like, girl, this was a reach.
Read the room. Shouldn't you be the main person giving space for your friends to just grieve being single on a day like today because you get how it is out here, because you built your brand based on how it is out here? Self-love is the best love, and nobody can love you more than you love yourself. That is correct. But telling your friends that in response to the grief or the loneliness they may be feeling on a day like Valentine's Day, it's just not good advice. Don't taste right. Ew. Drew should be the main one telling her friends, girl, this shit sucks. I'm seeing it. I've built my brand on it. It's rough out here. I get it. Because there are plenty of women out here who are...
Yeah, but Drew did. That's what's so crazy about this. Drew did say that she understands and that she knows what it feels like. She actually did say that.
Doing the work, going to therapy, loving themselves more, and vetting properly, who are also single and sad about it on Valentine's Day. What are we telling them? And that is why I say this advice is ass, because someone who has done the work to love themselves more doesn't want to hear love themselves even more, and also doesn't want to hear it just isn't the right time. There is a time and a place for certain advice to be given, and the advice of self-love shouldn't be given on or anywhere near Valentine's Day. Let's just be for real. Because it is evident and clear that we live in a time where a woman's singleness can't be boiled down just to it's not the right time and love yourself more. There are more factors at play here, and in not acknowledging that when your brand is built on said factors, girl.
Hold on, let's get through the next one, y'all. Let's get through the next one.
This comment reads, if you love yourself, you would be thinking about how you're going to spoil yourself for Valentine's Day, not making yourself sad because you're single for Valentine's Day. Respectfully, some of you all, I don't think y'all are that smart. I really think that some of y'all need to go back to being hooked on phonics. And I'm not being funny, I'm actually being very serious. I'm concerned. And that concern isn't towards you directly only. There are a few of y'all in my comments who feel as though self-love should replace all other forms of love you may not be receiving in your life. And if you find yourself sad on Valentine's Day, then that's a moral failing on your part.
I really think the issue is that she wants to focus on what she does not have. And she wants to focus on what's out of her control. because that's just what she wants to focus on, which is her choice, by the way. It don't have to be our choice, but that's what she wants to do. That's what she's choosing to do when it comes to Valentine's Day. She wants to focus on what she doesn't have, and she wants to focus on what's out of her control. So it is what it is. So it don't matter what you say, whether you tell her to focus on self-love, you tell her to spoil herself, take herself out to do this or to do that, or to experience this, or even if you were to redirect her thought process for the day, she could rewrite and like create something different for Valentine's Day for herself, to put herself in a better place mentally so that she doesn't feel in lack or like she's not worthy or deserving of someone, some type of companion that she would like to have. She's choosing to focus on this. And I have to also be real with y'all when I say this. This is exhausting for your friends who are happy in relationships. Yes, I'm saying it. And this is coming from a single girl. You are exhausting your friend who is happy in a relationship. You are exhausting her as the single friend who chooses to focus negatively on your love life and your situation. And that kind of takes away from your friend being happy. And it's not to say that she doesn't empathize with your situation, she doesn't have compassion for your situation, but it's like, damn, she's in a good place, but because you're not in a good place, she has to sit with you in this negative thought process. She can't make it about self-love. She can't make it about you spoiling yourself. She can't make it about anything positive because you don't want her to. So she has to sit with you in this negative energy, even though she's happy in her relationship. That's not fair to her either. So I see both sides. But I just wanted to say that, like, okay, like, you're not happy with your situation, but this is a girl that has found love. Like, why does she have to be negative about your situation when she's in a good place in her life? That's not fair, while trying to still be a friend to you and still, I guess, cater to your feelings or support how you feel and not invalidate how you feel. It can be very exhausting all the way around, y'all. It could be very, very exhausting. So again, I see both sides, and I really think this conversation needed to be had, even though it was kind of brought up through confusion and things being taken out of context. Like, let's really talk about it. Can we really talk about it though?
Victim of social conditioning, and that should be unpacked in unique therapy. And that logic or lack thereof, yeah, that's concerning to me. Y'all are being very black and white about a very nuanced topic, and it's really starting to piss me off. Yeah. Telling people they should never be sad on Valentine's Day because, hey, you have yourself. Some folks have had just themselves for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus years on Valentine's Day in a row. So you mean to tell me, you looking at me and dead ass saying that someone who's been single for the last 10 Valentine's Days should never, ever be sad that they're single because, hey, at least you got you. Are y'all serious? I spent the last 8 V-Days single, and 7 of those V-Days, I had a ball. Wasn't sad, celebrated me and my girls, had a grand old time. This is my first V-Day that I'm like, it'd have been nice to have had a date. I wouldn't have mind that. I'm a little sad that I don't have that. Yeah, I can see that. And by this logic, now I don't love myself. Because for the first time in 7 V-Days, I'm thinking about...
I don't think it's really about that. I think it's how she's projecting it. I don't think it's because this is how she feels. It's kind of like she's taking it out on everyone instead of dealing with it emotionally within herself. Because this is how she feels, right? Which she has every right to feel this way. And I'm pretty sure there are lots of women that can resonate with how she feels and just where she is mentally. But to project it in this way is what people are not really agreeing with. It's not that people want to invalidate her feelings or just her experience, really. It's just how she's projecting it on others. And I think that that's the issue here. I don't think it has anything to do with how she feels.
I would have wanted to share it with somebody. It's not giving smart and it's not giving bright. It's giving dim as hell. The lights are off, actually. This idea that self-love should just be unwavering and never fluctuate, and if it fluctuates, that's a problem that should be unpacked. Do y'all not understand human emotion or the fluctuation of human emotion? Clearly you don't. You clearly don't. And maybe you should learn about it. Seriously. Lack of empathy and the lack of nuance y'all are displaying in my comments when it comes to self-love and Valentine's Day. If y'all are this hard on other people, how hard are y'all on yourself when it comes to this topic? Seriously. Because on the flip side, if you do love yourself, and if you have sat and learned and gotten to know how great you are, you may want someone to share that greatness with and see how much you love yourself and share that love with too. But by y'all's logic, y'all are saying that desire means you don't love yourself enough. Turn it on, because it's been off for a minute, clearly.
Oh, okay, we got another one, y'all. This the last one. Be patient.
Happen when it's supposed to happen. I truly believe that.
That's true.
If it's not happening yet, you're not there yet. Like, when in your self-love journey, because no one's ever going to love you more than you love yourself.
Part 2 of my video calling this advice out for the ass trash of advice it is, given the context of the situation. When I made my first video, I was not privy to how Drew and her fiance came to be. So I did my research and watched this clip of her explaining the love story between her and her fiance. In this clip, she details that her fiance and her were friends in high school. He was checking for her, even asked her to his senior prom and she turned him down. Wasn't checking for him, wasn't giving him time of day. Cool. They go on to college, same thing. She didn't give him time of day. They're not talking much. If she came home for the holidays, they would go out for lunch, but it was very platonic. He seemed to be the one who was consistently interested in her, and she was interested in him. The last 2 years of their college experience, she ignored him completely because he pissed her off, apparently, and she gave him the cold shoulder for 2 years. And that 2 years, he was consistently reaching out to her, trying to get her to talk to him and give him a chance. She finally gives him a chance at the end of her college career, and once she's out of college, they become official, and 7 years later, they're now engaged. Get it, got it, good. Now, in the podcast...
But remember when I said right place, right person, but in this situation, this started off with the wrong time. So right place, right person, but wrong time. Time passed and then it transitioned into right place, right person, right time. Ladies, can you please put into context how you have control over any of that? Also, to the women that are married or in happy, healthy relationships, after this video saves, I would like for you to comment how you met your significant other and how it plays into the right place, right person, right time. And if you could just explain how you met them, like where you met them, the person and how this person is just so right for you. And then lastly, the timing. And if there's like any weird timing, like where you disconnected for months to a year or two and then y'all came back around, can you please let the girls in on this? Because this is truly what is missing from social media when it comes to dating and just the overall culture online in social media with dating, because that is so huge. Okay, so after this video save, please, it would really help a lot of women out here.
Last clip that I attached at the beginning of this video, you are advising girls to be more patient and wait for the right time to meet their person, or you're telling them to love themselves more and to embark on a self-love journey. However, in your love story of how you and your fiance came to be, you never mention you being patient, and you never mention you having your own self-love journey. The reason why you paid him no mind wasn't because of your self-love, it's because you hated men. So how come you're advising the girls on things that didn't have to apply in your predicament? Don't worry, I'll wait. So with this background information, this makes the advice not only even more ass than what it was before, but it is indicative to
Y'all, I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm not the smartest, the brightest one in all cases, but I'm not following her. Am I the only one that's like, I'm like, how did she come to all of this? How did she create all of this? Like, like the conclusion, I'm just very, I'm not following her. I'm just not. I'm not. I don't know how she came up with that. How did she even come up with that? We don't know what this girl was going through emotionally when it comes to her self-love journey. We don't know if she had low self-esteem during that time, or maybe she was ignoring the man because of self-love. So she wouldn't give him a chance, or she refused to give him a chance because maybe he wasn't where he needed to be within himself. We don't know, but how did she come up with all of that?
That you are trying to apply and advise people of things that didn't apply to you in your situation. You're trying to tell the girls to be patient and wait for it to be the right time, and you're trying to tell the girls to love themselves more. But from how it sounds, you are living your life, doing your thing, not worried about, not patient, not doing none of that. Just living your life, not giving the time of day. And he was the one who was patient and consistent with you and wore you down over time. For you to give the advice to single girls of be patient and love yourself when your person's been in your orbit since high school, been about you since high school, and you really didn't...
It's because that's her life. Like, that's her life. That's her life. That's what was destined for her. Like, woo! That was the purpose in her journey. Like, that was how it was supposed to play out for her. We all don't have the same story. And that's why I'm saying, this is why I truly don't like Valentine's Day on social media, is because Valentine's Day is such a big deal for women from a negative place. Is simply because you are able to compare your life and your situation with other women online. That's why. That's why every year around this time, women are super, super, super negative. And it's simply because they're able to compare what women are doing, if women have a man, what this man was buying for them for the day, what this man did for the woman for the day. If we didn't see all of that, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. But because we see it all up and down our timeline, then we start to compare ourselves. Then we start questioning ourselves. Well, what am I not doing? I must not be doing something right. There's something wrong with me, because why am I not able to get that type of treatment? Why am I not able to get those gifts? Why am I not able to get the flowers? Why am I not able to find a date for Valentine's Day? Why? It's just becoming overwhelming. It is. It's becoming very, very overwhelming. That's why I don't like to be on social media around this time of the year, because I'm just like, it's just so negative. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare your life. And this just isn't about love. Like, this is about your career. This is about your growth in life. This is about your finances. This is about whether you choose to go to college, or you choose to go off to college, or you choose to go to a community college. This doesn't just start and end with love. It literally translates to all areas of your life. It really does. Like, it could even come down to, well, why does Katie have bigger boobs than me? And you're literally 12 or 13 years old. Why do we as women do this to ourselves? I don't understand that. So of course we should be focusing on self-love, because if we focus on self-love, we're more focused on our worth and our value, and we're not putting ourselves in lack or in this undeserving energy. It's just, I don't agree with that.
Am I tripping, or does that sound like you're talking out of turn? You have not been in these streets for well over 5 years. You have not had to navigate being single in your 20s. For the majority of your 20s. Why are you trying to advise the girls of anything, quite frankly? Your partnership is one of privilege. Very few people have had their person in their orbit since high school. Very few folks have had their person consistently pursuing them since high school. Why are you advising the girls on anything, respectfully? If you can't relate to years on end being single for Valentine's Day, why are you advising the girls on anything? I'm not saying that love yourself is bad advice. It is good advice isolated. But giving that advice in relation to Valentine's Day, when you have had someone celebrate Valentine's Day with every year for the majority of your 20s, girl, open that book and read the room. For you to advise your friends to be patient and love yourself more when you have had someone in your orbit relentlessly pursuing you since high school, read the room. Where is your empathy and saying, you know, I've been put up for the majority of my 20s. I don't know firsthand.
Y'all, be nice in the chat. Do not bully this girl, okay? Come on. If you feel like she's going through it mentally and you feel like she needs therapy, why should we attack her appearance? Why should we attack her any further? We actually need to be sending her love, because that's what this live is all about. This is to send her some love and to maybe have her do some introspection regarding how she feels and what she's currently going through when it comes to this whole experience. Because honestly, y'all, I have to be honest with y'all. I've been here before. Like, I know what this is like. Like, I know the emotions that come with this. And it's you start to question, like, am I worthy? Like, am I deserving? Like, is there something wrong with me? Like, seriously, we've all been there. So let's send Cindy love, because at the end of the day, she's not really wrong. She's just wrong about Drew, but she's not wrong in her feelings. And I just want to make that known, okay?
How rough it is out here. So I'm just going to hold space for y'all to tell me how you feel. Why isn't that an option? All I know is if I had a friend who since high school has had someone relentless about her, pursuing her, and she finally dated him, and she spent every V-Day celebrating it with him. Meanwhile, I've spent every V-Day single.
How do we know that she was spending V-Day with this man? Ooh, there's a lot of assuming here, y'all. I think I posted on my Instagram. Don't assume. Ask. Do not assume. Ask. Do not assume. Ask.
And I'm sad about it, and I confide about that in her to her about that. And she tells me to be patient and love myself more. We wouldn't be friends anymore, babes. Wrap it up. That's a wrap for me. It is hard to advise people on an experience you personally have not experienced and are not experiencing currently.
Yeah.
And it's hard to advise folks when your experience is one of privilege and rarity. To know that you're advising the girls to love themselves more and be patient while you go home to your man and have been doing that for the majority of your 20s. And your platform and brand is built off of calling men out. Child, girl, please.
Okay, so let's get into what was actually said, because that's what's so important here. This is so important. Let's get into what Drew actually said. Okay, let me pull it up because we got to clear the room.
So the reason y'all haven't seen that entire Drew Afualo, I hope I'm saying that right, clip about self-love come up on your For You page is because it's only on Spotify, and Spotify has a copyright infringement prevention mechanism built into the app so you can't screen record. Luckily for y'all, I'm a doll in tech and I have 3 phones, so I have the full clip for you.
And I want to say that I can confirm that she's telling the truth, because when I decided that I was going to talk about this, I was doing my research to look for the full clip because I didn't want to take it out of context. I wanted to sit down and watch the full clip, and I could not find it. Then, not only that, this clip is 3 years old. Let me see. Hold on. That's not the right. Because, y'all, I was all up in the comment section. Hold on. Wait a minute. Because Drew responded. Is it this one? Okay, that ain't it. Okay, so Drew is in the comment section. She's saying, it's almost like I'm not evil or dumb, can totally understand how it feels to desire companionship and also not want to compromise self-worth/love because I've experienced it. And then she was telling this content creator, thank you so much. Also, people are saying that this whole clip is from 3 years ago. And then also they framed it as if she posted this on Valentine's Day, and she never did. So this wasn't even content that Drew created for Valentine's Day. This was just a conversation that she was having with a friend on her podcast, and it has been completely taken out of context. But my whole question is, how did Cindy get it on TikTok? Where did Cindy get the clip from? Did she go and pull it up from 3 years ago and decided to talk about this on Valentine's Day? I don't know. Like, I have that question because you can't find it on TikTok. The only person that actually had that little clip was Cindy. I looked everywhere, y'all. And y'all know how TikTok is. The algorithm and then the is it SEO, like the search engine bar or whatever, like it will pop right on up because, you know, TikTok, their whole algorithm and search engine is just so top tier. It's the best out here. It's better than Instagram. It's better than Facebook. And I could not find it. So I don't know who originally posted that. I don't know if it was Cindy who just went and found the clip or if Cindy got the clip from someone else. I don't know. I just know I couldn't find it. And I'm like, well, where did she get that from? So to find out that this is from 3 years ago, this is crazy. But I'm not going to lie. There are pages out here, fake pages or fan pages that post videos and content like that. And I've seen it with Share 7. So I'm not saying that Cindy did it. I'm saying I could not find the video that Cindy stitched. And see, it wasn't a stitch that Cindy posted. It was a green screen. So, girl, I don't know. I don't know. It's very mysterious. It's a sticky situation. So y'all let me know what y'all think because I have no idea.
Let me just say something. Some of y'all dolls really need to go sit on that lady's couch because what she said was not only holistic advice, it was empathetic, but here it is.
Oh my God. No, it's a war zone out there today.
It's literally terrible.
It's pretty rotten. I think a lot of people, well, see, that's the thing with me too, like, because I've been with my boyfriend now for 5 years.
Oh,
we celebrated 5 years, so
congrats.
Thank you. She still hasn't married you though yet. That's what men always like to say to me, but I'm always like, it's not the 1950s, bitch.
Yeah.
I don't need him to buy a car. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna get married when we're ready.
Right.
And you're still gonna be alone, so worry about that. But I always like get questions about like, especially since I'm dating a cis man. They're like, how did you find one that wasn't rotten?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know. I think that it's like you said, where you don't feel like you have to settle.
Yeah.
So you should just always hold your standards high. Even if it's going to take a minute, but by the time, like, once you find it, it's going to be worth the wait.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, when I was in my prime hoe phase, I would talk to boys or men or whatever, and I'd be like, they do one thing, and I'd be like,
you gotta wrap it up. That's
the ick would course through my veins. I'd be like, oh, get out.
Yeah.
You will never see me again.
No,
Does that not sound like self-love? That sound like self-love to me. Cause I be doing the same damn thing. Like, you doing too much. You getting on my nerves. You gotta go. I love my peace too much. That sound like self-love to me.
That's the hardest thing that I was struggling with. It was like 3 strikes around. I'm like, girl, come on, value yourself. Come on now, ho, work it up.
And that's, you know what, that's part of the learning process, the self-love process. Because I always say too, like, sometimes I'll talk to my single friends, and like some of my friends who are single, and they'll tell me like, oh, like, I just like feel like, you know, I'm ready, I want to meet someone, blah, blah, blah. But I always say, like, if you're ready right now, it will happen when it's supposed to happen. I truly believe that.
That's true.
If it's not happening yet, you're not there yet. Like, when in your self-love journey, because no one's ever going to love you more than you love yourself. So you have to love yourself unconditionally. Mm-hmm. And then when you meet the right person, you're not going to seek them out for that kind of love because you're going to already have it. So they'll just amplify it, right? They'll make you feel love in a much different way than how you make yourself feel when you love yourself. So it's like, it's one of those things that you just got to be patient.
And that's different from like that notion that like.
And I think it's important because Drew said the right person. The right person is so important. A lot of women want to overlook that and they just want to focus on the person or having the person or getting the person. But the right person is what matters the most when it comes to this conversation.
I have to be perfect.
Exactly.
I have to love myself so much so where nothing can faze me. That's different than like, oh, like I need to love myself to receive love.
Yeah.
I just want that.
And the reason why she's saying self-love isn't because, oh, you have to have self-love to get a partner. I mean, clearly you don't need self-love to get a partner. You need self-love to have the right partner. That's what she's saying. You need to have self-love for the right partner, because if you don't have self-love, you're not going to be with the right partner. You're most likely going to be with the wrong partner because you don't know your worth and you don't know your value and you don't even have the standards to match that. So of course you may meet somebody, but it's definitely going to be the wrong person. So when she said that you're not there yet, it could be because no, you're really not there yet when it comes to your self-love. So maybe that's why you're not having the best experiences. So you being deeper in your self-love can have you meet the right person because you have the right standards. You carry yourself in the right way. There's a lot of things that go into this, and Drew gave solid advice. but you have to see it from a higher perspective instead of seeing it from the perspective of, well, I'm in lack and I'm comparing myself to Drew because she has a man and she's getting love and she's getting the romance on Valentine's Day and I'm not. You really have to dig deeper, and you have to take the higher perspective to see where she's really coming from, because she really spoke facts. She spoke facts with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like I had someone ask me a question recently, like, how do I move on from someone that I was like dating? I don't know if it was like a situationship or if it was like an actual relationship. They're like, how do I move on? And then, because it had been like 2-3 years. And I said, like, well, what you do is you remind yourself, it's easier said than done, but you remind yourself that you were a whole person before that person came into your life with thoughts and dreams and hopes, ambition. Like, you had all of these things before that person and you'll have all of them after. Sometimes they're not there forever and that's their loss, not yours.
My auntie would say the best way to get
over someone is to get under someone else. Which, if that works for you,
I would probably take your advice. Yeah, maybe we should.
Or no los dos is what I say. Like, you can two things can be true at once, right? Like, sometimes that helps people heal too.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. As long as just know it's not linear. Healing is not linear. It's not overnight. But I do think that the dating horror stories, we all share a common thread in that.
Yep. What's the thread? Is it men?
But again, like, what's wrong with the messenger? She literally experienced this. What's wrong with the messenger? Like, y'all, why? This is my thing. Why? And this, I'm speaking for the women in relationships now who have single girlfriends who may be struggling with their love life. Why is your friend who's in the relationship, why is she the wrong messenger? Like, I just don't, she's the right messenger, especially if she's in a healthy relationship. That's the person you would want to talk to. You online listening to all of these people that are hurt and bitter, and that's where you're getting your relationship advice from. Why? This woman is in a healthy, happy relationship. You saw her through her single season. Now she's in this new season of her life. Why is she the wrong messenger? Like, oh my God, my inspiration right now is my best friend. She's in a healthy, loving relationship. She is showing me, she is mirroring back to me what is possible. She's in a healthy relationship. They communicate really well. They plan together. They work together really well. They have a really good relationship. So, like, why would I not want to look to my friend who's in a relationship? I don't get that. I don't get that.
Turns out they're the root of all evil, huh? Okay, so
Apologize to that lady and then go sit on that other lady's couch immediately. That is y'all assignment.
Oof. So a lot of people are like, well, why was this the wrong advice? Cindy was not the only one that felt like this was the wrong advice. There were some other women out here that felt like it was the wrong advice to give your single friend advice on Valentine's Day. Now, even though that was not what Drew did, because I need to make that known, Drew did not do that. Social media created this whole narrative for Drew, and her content was taken completely out of context, and now she's being dragged literally for no reason. However, let's get into why other women agreed with Cindy, and I'm pretty sure to some degree you can agree with these other women as well. It just depends on where you are in life right now.
I keep refilming this video because I keep getting upset because I'm tired of the gaslighting. I'm tired of the back and forth from women who consistently contradict their statements. If romantic love doesn't mean anything, if all you need is community, friends, and family, why are you laid up next to a man every night? Why? Why are you in a relationship? Why are you bragging about your happy and healthy relationship and this man that you're going to marry and have kids with if none of that stuff matters? Because it matters to you because you know it fulfills something in you that is very different than what you get from familial and platonic relationships. You know it, I know it, and I'm tired of the self-righteous bullshit that you guys tell yourselves every day because you just don't have an answer when people wonder why they're still alone. And you can just say that you got lucky. I would be fine with that. But I'm sick and tired of people getting on the internet and saying that you just need to love yourself more. Do you know how hard it is to love yourself when every time you like somebody, they tell you you're ugly or you're not good enough, and it's been happening your entire life? To go through all of your formative years, your 20s, almost your 30s, and watch everyone around you experience intimacy and romance, and you want it so badly and you can't have it because for some reason something's obviously wrong with you. And I get it, like, it may not be me, it may not be other women who experience this, but it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And instead of just making space for the so-called community and understanding why we feel this way and why that has an effect on your self-esteem, you preach at us and tell us that, you know, we're centering men and we need to detach these relationships.
I just want to know, like, and this is coming from a single girl myself, what do y'all want us to tell you? I mean, And y'all, this is exactly why I said I can't be friends with women who have low self-esteem. This is exhausting. And I'm not about to be miserable with y'all. I'm not. I'm single as a Pringle out here in these streets. I am single as a Pringle. But I'm happy in my singlehood. I enjoy my Valentine's Day. I took a spiritual bath. I was in the bathtub watching Harlem. I was drinking me a little mocktail, trying to romanticize my evening, lit some candles, put some rose petals in my bathtub. I had a great time. And then I put a little bit of that Avon soft skin in my bath water. I came out glistening, feeling good. I'm not going to tell you what I finished the night off with, but I'm saying, like, why are y'all so upset? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. Life is all about what you make it. And if you want to focus on what's out of your control, and if you want to focus on the negative aspect of your situation, listen, that's your choice. But I don't want to be around that. I do not want to exchange energy with people like this because it's very exhausting. It's like the friend who's always downing herself in front of you. Like, she's talking about her weight. She's talking about how she looks, constantly downing herself. And it just becomes a lot after a while. Like, it becomes a lot, y'all. It just becomes a lot. I can't be around that energy. I just can't. I can't. Because I like to speak life into myself. I like to speak life into my friends. And it's just hard hearing how negative some women, how they talk to themselves. Like, it's hard taking all of that in.
Fuck all that.
So again, to the ladies, if this is how you feel, right? We're trying to reach an understanding because seriously, this could help some of us out here. What do you want us to say to you? Like, what do you not want us to, you just want us to just let you vent and not say anything at all? Because this is how I feel. Like I said, I feel this way when it comes to women who down their body and their weight in front of me. It really puts me in an awkward situation. Like, sometimes I don't even know what to say. Because it's almost like, do you want me to agree that you're fat? Like, do you want me to agree with the fact that you have love handles but you don't like them? Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? That's what I want to know, because it makes me so uncomfortable when women do that. And now this is going to be another situation that's going to make me uncomfortable because I don't want to say the wrong thing. And I don't want to agree with you either because I don't really agree with what you're saying because it's very negative. So what do you want us to say? That's what I want to know. Please comment down below. What do you want us to say? Please.
I'm sorry. I'm so sick of this. You have no idea what it feels like because you have had love reciprocated on more than one occasion, and maybe you choose to be single, but it's a choice. It's a choice. That's the difference. I'm so sick and tired of women who met their soulmate walking down the frozen food aisle at the local Kroger, preaching at me about all that I need to do to find a man. Screw you and screw whatever self-righteous bullshit you try to, tout on everyone else because you don't have a fucking answer. Just be true about it. You got lucky. I'm tired of all this.
But y'all, we grown. She did get lucky. She did get lucky. Listen, right place, right person, right time. If those three things do not align, you are out of luck. Have you accepted that? Because there's a level of acceptance that comes with knowing that. Have you accepted that that's how it really works?
The interesting part about Drew getting ate up for telling everyone to love themselves on Valentine's Day is really not that the advice is wrong, but it's like, girl, ain't nobody trying to hear that from you. Like, no hate. I love her and the big fire man she with. You feel what I'm saying? But ain't nobody trying to hear that from you on Valentine's Day, girl. What you mean? I love myself down to the ground. I am my biggest fan. What are you talking about? But it's...
Y'all, I love Mecca. She's an Aries. So I already know what she's going to say.
Not incorrect. It's not incorrect if you think about, like, you have to put yourself first. And if you go through the type of relationships where you so in love with the N-word and you lose yourself, then it becomes like, yeah, girl, you do have to put yourself first, and they will just flock and follow and fall at your knees, But Ain't nobody trying to hear that from someone who been cuffed up in a seemingly perfect relationship with a big fine ass man on Valentine's Day. And
I want to point out the language that women are using. Perfect relationship. Where did you get that from? How you know her relationship is perfect?
that's what you fix your lips to tell me. I wouldn't want to hear that either. I just wouldn't want to hear that either. And it's like, ugh, I hate that sister getting ate up right now, but I'm not. It's like, oh shit, if it was me, if I was real single, if I was real single, I would be mad too. If this had been like last year.
And Mecca not even real single. Did y'all hear that? So Mecca, you not single. So I'm the only one out here that's really single as a Pringle. This is a mess. This is crazy to me. Mecca not even single as a Pringle. I told y'all I'm single as a Pringle. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a little Pringle can of chips and pull just one out. Only one. That's Yoni. So like, what are we really talking about? Like, if anyone should be upset here, I feel like it should be me.
I'm gonna have a little attitude too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be like, girl, what the fuck? You know, now I heard it. It was like, yeah, y'all, love yourself. That was to be like, and you shut your ass up too, Mecca. Isn't that so funny? You know, this is not even about it. This is just about when bitches in general. When bitches get in a relationship and they become relationship experts and they be like, wow, I think you should do this. And I just think that you need to go get your nails done and get your hair done and get back out there. Like, bitch. Bitches get some fine shit on their arm and forget who the fuck they was 2 months ago. I will really kirk up in here. Don't.
She not lying though. I've been around women like that where they get a man, they just lose their damn mind. It's the same. Some of these women, they lose weight, they lose their mind. So I get it. I completely understand where she coming from. But what's wrong with loving y'all? What's wrong with loving yourself though? I don't understand. I love myself. I really do. That's why I got them bed pads in my Amazon storefront. Okay. If you wet the bed, you put the pads down. I love myself. I don't know what all of this is about. I really don't. Y'all need to go check out them bed pads so you can lay them down on your bed if you bringing out the toys. You get what I'm saying? So I understand. Like, what is wrong with this? Like, what are we really upset about? That's what I'm trying to understand here. Like, what is the problem? What is the problem?
piss me off.
Like, what is the situation? I don't know. This is crazy. Let's continue, though. This is what the girls are feeling. This is how they feel. This is their feelings. And there's nothing wrong with how they feel, y'all. Let me see.
So I feel like the overlying issue here is really just frustration. Y'all don't have the type of relationships that y'all want, the type of experiences with men that you want, the type of romantic love that you want, and the last thing you want to hear from is a bitch that seemingly has all of that tell you to love yourself, okay? Because at this point, it's been years of promoting therapy and healing and bettering yourself and loving yourself and shadow work and decentering men. And quite a few women who have been doing this work for years still have not found that kind of love that they desire, and some, their dating experiences have even gotten worse. So when we're having a conversation about desiring romantic love, you can't tell that woman, oh, love yourself, and then that'll be the time that that person comes. And although I feel like some of what Drew said,
but I just want to make it known, let's raise our perspective. Drew is speaking facts. And yes, that is what women need to be told. Why? Because in order for you to attract the right person, not a person, not this guy or that guy, the right person, you have to be in that self-love energy. Why? Because it requires you to have certain standards. It requires you to have certain boundaries. It requires you to have certain expectations. It requires you to have a certain outlook. It also requires you, the most important thing is to have your heart chakra open. That's why. How else are you going to attract it? Your heart chakra has to be open. So if you don't have anyone around you, companionship wise, that you can love on, how else are you going to open your heart chakra so you can attract it? Come on. That's why I'm like, we got to raise our vibrations. These conversations are too low. We got to climb a little higher. because what Drew said was facts. And maybe that's why she's successful. Maybe that's why we should actually listen to what she's saying. I'm just saying. So yes, if you look at it from the surface level perspective where it's like, oh, just love yourself. Yes, it sounds cliche. Everyone says it, right? But if you dive just a little deeper, if you really are in your heart space with self, it is going to be easier for you to attract someone. That's just facts. There's no way around that. If you don't love yourself, that means you're closing off your heart chakra. And so you're going to be guarded, or worse, you're going to attract men that are emotionally unavailable or toxic or players, or like men who are just not looking for anything serious. So you need to be in your heart space. It's just facts. That's why you need to go get you a little Reiki healing done. Maybe you do need to go sit on that therapist couch so that you can start peeling back the layers so that you can open up your heart chakra. I'm just saying. And it may have you attract differently, which means the self-love that you have, which is opening up your heart chakra, is attracting the right person. Now, is this a guarantee? As a woman, as a mature woman, you have to understand that nothing in this life is guaranteed. Not that job, not a man, nothing in this life, not children, nothing in this life, not opportunities, nothing in this life is guaranteed. As a woman, you always got to understand that. But to increase your chances, you do need to be in that space of harmony and self-love with self in order to increase your chances. That's all I'm saying.
Is being taken out of context. I think when women say this, including myself, I've said something similar. I'll just speak for myself then. I'm not telling you to love yourself and pour into yourself and invest in self-love, because self-love is the key to romantic love. I'm specifically telling you to do that because if we're being honest, that may be the only love and the only life you get. The reality of the matter is when you raise your standards, you're particular about what you want, you elevate yourself, and you require your partner to be elevated in the same way.
I agree with her as well, but I disagree with the part where she said that self-love, you need to love yourself because that's the only way you can experience romantic love. No, it's not the only way you can receive romantic love, but it can help you attract it. Every single time, y'all, I be out here and I just be focusing on myself and I really be loving on myself, like taking care of myself, going to the gym, my skincare routine, me also pouring into myself, whether that's spiritually or knowledge-wise. I attract all type of men. Like I could just be walking down the street attracting men, minding my damn business. But when I'm closed off and I'm not really focusing on myself and pouring into myself, like I'm not attracting as good as I am when I'm in this energy of pouring more into myself. So I disagree with that part, but I do agree with the part where she's saying that if you don't meet companionship or a romantic partner or whatever the case may be, like say that's something that you don't experience in this lifetime, it is important for you to still love yourself. I mean, are you going to hate yourself through this life experience? I mean, what other choices do you have?
Dating pool shrinks. So the things that you have been looking forward to, that you have been programmed and conditioned since
listen, and then this too. Are we centering men right now? Do I have to go into this whole explanation about decentering men? Do I? Because that's another part of this conversation too, is that when it comes to this conversation, decentering men is important because you're wanting to focus on something that's A, out of your control, which I've been stating this entire live, and then B, it's not something that's currently in your reality. So why are you putting so much focus and why are you spending so much time on this? It's not in your control, and then you're wanting to center something in your life that's not there. Now, could it still be a desire? Yeah, like I have a desire to make $1 million, but I'm not putting that the center focus of my life. I'm putting focus on other things. That's it. So you can desire something and still not make it the focal point or the center of your universe. I mean, you're supposed to make yourself that. You are the main character after all. These other people just come in and they play their role in your life. So I don't know. I think women need to get clear on what they want, because I tried to tell y'all last year that women are confusing me. Women are very confusing. Like, I don't know what women want anymore. So don't ask me, because I really don't know. I have no idea. And Valentine's Day is always around this time of the year where I always get even more confused, because I don't know what women want. One minute women say they want this, and then the next minute women say they want this. One minute women were saying 4B, then next women were saying we're decentering men, but then next it's sprinkle, and then next it's black femininity. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to focus on myself. I follow in the lines of 4B and decentering men, because that's just how my life is. But I can't keep up with these movements because I don't feel like they're real. I just got to be honest with you. I feel like it's just women say these things out of frustration, but deep down they feel differently. And so I'm going to just focus on myself at this point.
Little girl to look forward to in regards to like your wedding and building that dream life with your dream man. The reality of it is there's a lot of luck and chance and circumstance that comes into finding the kind of relationship that you desire. But what's guaranteed is you're going to end up with yourself, and you're going to end up with the life that you create for you. So when I say love yourself and when I say pour into yourself, I'm strictly doing it from a selfish point of view, because the life that you build yourself is the only life that you are guaranteed to have to look forward to.
Facts.
You can be everything. You can be fine than a motherfucker. You can have everything. You can achieve everything and still end up alone. And I know people don't like to hear that. People don't like to accept that, but it's the truth.
Facts.
So no, don't love yourself for romantic love. Love yourself and invest in self-love for you, because that's the only thing that you're guaranteed.
As you all know, I believe in duality. So if you know that that is a desire that you have, I wouldn't make it the center of my life, but it will have a dual experience to your life. So it's like, my mother always would say, you could kill two birds with one stone. That's kind of how I'm looking at the situation. So depending on your desires, and listen, I'm not here to take away women's desires when it comes to them wanting a man. I know like that's the trend. It's like, oh, as a heterosexual woman, you can't want a man, you can't desire a man. I'm not here to take that away. I'm here to say, why are we focusing on something that's not in our reality? Why are we not focusing on what's currently right in front of us? So if a man is not in your life, why are we making a man that's not in your life the center of it? It doesn't make sense. Why are you not putting yourself in the center of your life? Why are you creating all of these scenarios when this person does not exist? You don't do that with friends. You don't center a friend in your life that you don't have. That doesn't even make sense. So that's what it is for me. And that's my whole take on the whole decentering men. You should be decentering men. You should be centering yourself, and you should be making yourself the main character. How? Level up, pour into yourself, self-care, take on a spiritual journey. Are you taking care of your body? You should always start with your body. What are you putting in your temple? How are you fueling your are you feeding yourself knowledge? Is there anything new you can learn? Is there a hobby? Like, don't make life about this thing that you don't have. Are you currently living in the present moment? Because that matters. Your life matters to you. It should. It can't just come down to if you have a man or not. That's why I don't like these conversations for real. That's why I really don't. Because my focus don't be on this. My focus be on some other stuff. It really do. It really do. But let's continue. Okay, is it this one?
This is going to be my last video about the whole love yourself conversation, but I feel like a lot of people are being disingenuous about why the advice is not taken well, and it's really annoying me. Let's be for real here, right? I would say maybe 10, 15 years ago, the focus on yourself, love yourself, just, heal or find fulfillment in other platonic spaces, that advice didn't sting as bad then, because the world and the country that we lived in was significantly different. It was still bad, but my point is, we are seeing a loneliness epidemic and a spike in isolation, because now we have so many systemic factors compounding to create the perfect storm of people not knowing how to communicate, not knowing how to connect with others and the world outside of them, devaluing human life. And I'm not going to blame it completely on social media, but I do think it plays a big part in how we've gotten here. I say all this to say, being single is not a disease, it's not an affliction, but I do think this advice didn't get such an inflammatory response before because there is still hope that a relationship or romance is something that could come down the line for you.
So now women don't have hope. Ooh, let's really talk about it. Why don't women have hope? Why? See, I knew it was going to come down to this. A lot of women don't want to stand 10 toes down. You don't want to stand 10 toes down. You don't. I've accepted that this is out of my control, and I've accepted that I will die on this hill. I'm not settling for some bullshit because I'm not going to be happy in the relationship. I'm going to be miserable and I'm going to be bitter and mad. So I'm going to die on this hill. I'm not settling for some bullshit. People say I'm picky, but really I'm selective. People say I'm guarded, but really I have boundaries. Like, I'm going to die on this hill. So a lot of you are struggling with this because you don't want to stand on business. You don't want to do what it actually takes. Because now you have to be real about the situation and you have to accept that by you standing on business, it may never happen. Ooh, a lot is being exposed this Valentine's Day. I told y'all it was exposed to me 3 years ago on this day. 3 years ago. Women do not want to actually sacrifice. They think that, oh, I could just put up this front, not actually practice what you preaching or what you out here telling other women. You want to put on this front and then still hold on to this hope. But again, I'm going to tell you right now, just looking at all the women that forced the relationship, they not happy. So you are aware that it's going to lead to unhappiness if you were to not stand 10 toes down. And that's what I'm saying. The reason why I respect content creators who practice what they preach, because do you know how hard it is to stand 10 toes down? Do you know how hard it is for you to actually practice what you preach? It takes discipline. It takes consistency. This is why I don't respect content creators who don't practice what they preach, because how can you tell me about what I need to do when you're not doing it? You don't even know how hard it is. You don't know how much work it takes. You don't know the mental struggles that I'm going through when it comes to actually practicing what you're telling me based off of what you're preaching. That's why I don't respect them. I have no respect for content creators who don't practice what they preach, especially if they're in this arena, because it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of overriding the doubt and the negativity that creeps up in your mind. It takes also being tempted. It takes also going back on what you decided on, because maybe this person that you met is tempting you in some type of way. Maybe you're feeling lonely or anxious, or maybe you just want to let your hair down for the night. It takes real work, which is why I don't respect the content creators who don't practice what they preach. And it's just that simple. How can you tell me about what I need to be doing? Self-control is huge too. Sexual discipline is huge too. How can you tell me what I need to be doing and you're not even doing it? How do we even know it's successful? We don't. We just going off of what you're saying. It takes a lot of discipline, whether it's self-control, whether it's sexual discipline, whether it's you coming home at night early, whether it's you not drinking alcohol. Like, it takes a lot of discipline. So that's what I said. Like, I already knew it. I called it a few years ago. I was like, women don't really want to do what it really takes because they have to let go of the hope, and they're not willing to die on this hill, because that's what it really means to stand 10 toes down. That's what it means. That you may not get the outcome that you want or that you were hoping for, and you haven't accepted that yet.
That's gone. Like, I want everyone to be serious right now. As a society, we have very little evidence that there is any end in sight to being alone. And this doesn't just go for romance. This is also a platonic problem that is happening. So if we have collectively outgrown the advice of just focus on yourself and love yourself more, and then this thing will come, we should stop giving it, and we should also stop being upset at people for rightfully being annoyed at that advice. Because it's not advice, it's a dismissal.
And I'm going to also explain to you, where am I at as a heterosexual woman who currently has moved on to phase 2, even though social media is still on phase 1, I'm on phase 2. I started focusing on, okay, if it never happens, because I'm standing 10 toes down on this, right? I'm going to die on this hill. All right. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm not coming back on this. This is where I'm at. How else can I receive love in this lifetime? Because I don't have to just focus on the love romantically. I don't have to focus on just receiving romantic love. How else can I receive love in this lifetime? That's when I started thinking about becoming an orphan mom. I want to be an orphan mom. I want to be an orphan mom to preteen young girls. I already thought about it. I already started looking into it. It's something that I want to do. I'm giving myself until really 40, because I feel like that would be a great age. I want to travel the rest of my 30s. Like, I really thought about this. I'm in phase 2. Social media is still in phase 1. I want to be an orphan mom, and I want to have a house full of girls, and I want to basically pour into them in the way that I be pouring into y'all. That's what I want to do. I've already thought about it. So are women entering that phase 2, or are you still on phase 1 because you're still holding on to hope, because a part of you will go back on this? Let's really talk about it.
Period. And I'm not saying that was Drew's intention. I think most people who give that advice are well-intentioned, but if the people you are giving that advice to are constantly telling you, hey, this makes me feel bad, maybe stop giving it.
Let's continue. Honestly, I agree with all the girls that are up here, because at the end of the day, it's perspective. It's based off of experience. It's also based off of feelings. And like I said, I'm not here to invalidate people's experiences and their feelings. It's just a lot of this stuff is projection, and it's negative. If it was positive projection, I don't think people would really be caring like that. It's very negative. It's very, very negative. So this is a girl that's in her dark feminine energy. So this is where I'm at. This girl right here.
Drew Afualo because she told us to love ourselves on Valentine. We mad at Drew Afualo because she told us to love ourselves on Valentine's Day when she has a man.
Before she gets into it, I just want to read here. It says, I want a partner too, but upon hearing her, y'all got a bit too bitter, to be honest. People who are good on self-love wouldn't use this pick at her partnership. Y'all need to breathe.
A lot of y'all love to hear shit like that and then sit there and say, well, you know, you can't love yourself out of wanting romantic love. It's different. And by the way, we as humans need connection. We as humans need community, right? It's unnatural for us to be solo, but it's natural to be in community. You as women are conditioned to want a male partner. You're conditioned to want a male partner. So sure, self-love is different than romantic love, sure. But when you love self, it gets to a point where it's like romantic love. It's like if it happens in this lifetime, it happens. If it doesn't, you know, it doesn't, right? You're not so desperate for it. Y'all haven't mastered the art of detachment.
Ooh, girl.
And in all honesty, y'all won't listen to women who have loved themselves and have been rewarded by God or the universe with a man who actually loves them and considers them. Because that's the situation she's in, with a man who considers her and loves her, right? Y'all don't want to listen to those women. And you don't want to listen to women that are single and okay with being single, and y'all will sit there and be like, well, you don't even have a man.
Ooh.
Y'all don't want to listen to anybody. You want to continue being victims, talking about humans need connection, humans need relationships, humans need community. You are conditioned to want a man. And the thing is that self-love is emphasized Because when y'all have self-love, you don't settle for men who give you a little bit of intimacy.
Ooh.
Like 40% of the time, the rest of the 60%,
Ooh.
he's sliding you.
Ooh.
Every chance he gets. Y'all don't have self-love.
Ooh.
Because you end up finding yourself in those situations. And it's why? Because you're meant to be with a man? No. Y'all don't want to listen to anybody, and it's so annoying. It's like everybody just loves being victims on this app. It's weird.
Ooh. Ooh, girl. I'm glad somebody said it. I'm glad it wasn't just me up here holding it down. Did she read though? Girl, and I've been saying this. I'm like, I've really accepted that if it doesn't happen this lifetime, I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Oh my gosh. And it's because I love myself. And I believe that if it doesn't happen this lifetime, it's because I'm being protected from some shit that I don't want. That is my mindset. Like, I'm literally being protected by something that I don't want anyway. I don't want to be in a marriage and be miserable. I do not want to be in a relationship and be miserable and then I end up pregnant. Like, I don't want to deal with that. So listen, God, I'm not questioning nothing you got going on, nothing that you got cooking. I ain't questioning none of it because if it ain't for me, I don't want it. I do not want that shit. Send that shit back. Okay? I asked for medium steak. Okay? You gave me well done. I don't want that steak. Send that back. I'm gonna be chewing on it for 5 days. I don't want that steak. I want the steak that I asked for, which was medium. And if you can't give me medium, then I don't want it. It's not for me. It ain't for me. So that's what women are struggling with. Like, you will not accept what's out of your control. And then you will not just accept the fact that when you be seeing women in these relationships, it was the right place. It was the right person and it was the right time. So why are you beating yourself up? And look at what it's doing to yourself. Is this something that you deserve? Do you deserve to inflict this behavior on yourself? Because this is self-inflicted. And then not only that, have you ever thought that maybe you are being protected from something that you do not want, something that you don't deserve? We got to change our mindsets. And then say you don't change your mindset, you just gonna sit in this energy? That's what we gonna do? We just gonna sit in this energy and just be unhappy? What other options do you really have though?
Watching Drew Afualo get chewed up because she said to love yourself on Valentine's Day is the reason why I don't give relationship advice. It's one of the reasons I don't give relationship advice. As someone who has been in a relationship for quite some time, I don't see why that is wrong advice to give. But I also think that people have generally a misconstrued perception of what it's like to consistently be in a relationship. Because on the one hand, you can't say like, hey, this will not be a perfect experience. I understand, your frustration of not having someone and empathize with the idea of wanting that connection. And I don't think that that's wrong. But also, like, the way that you think that you will be complete or that you will be fulfilled or that, all of these experiences that you're having will be enhanced all the time because you have a person that you're in a relationship with. Yeah, you're going to have to let that go. And that's on having a good person to be in a relationship with. Right. And honestly, I'll say, I think a lot of the reason why people who are in relationships tell people who are outside of relationships to focus on yourself is because of the fact that you will find that being even in a stable, healthy relationship does not give you the fulfillment as a person that you think it does. So you might want to practice loving yourself, focusing on yourself, doing things for yourself so that you build on whatever your character is. And then that person comes in and enhances it, but they don't define it for you because then you're really in trouble.
And I want to make this known too, because I've seen this. I've seen this in marriage and I've seen this in relationships where a woman is not happy. She has a good man. There's nothing wrong with the man at all. But because she's not happy within herself, nothing that man does is good enough. And a lot of men turn bitter because They're like, well, she's saying that it's not me, but she's not happy with me. And it's because it has nothing to do with the man at all. It has everything to do with herself. And a lot of times it's women being insecure. A lot of times it's women comparing themselves to other women and what they have. And a lot of times it's women not finding peace and contentment within themselves. So this woman is telling you, work on this now, because you're waiting for this man to come along and you're not even at peace and contentment within yourself. And you're banking on this man being all of what you need in order to make yourself happy. And you're going to be very disappointed. You're going to be so disappointed. And you're not going to feel fulfilled or complete. There's still going to be something that's missing for you, even though you got the man. I've seen it all the time. I've even seen it with women who got married, had kids. They still feel something's missing. They got the life that a lot of women want, but something is still missing. They got the good man. They got the kids. They got the white picket fence, and they're not happy. And it's because prior to them entering this new season of their life where they got married and they had kids, they never found that happiness within themselves, and they never found that happiness in that peace alone. They waited until that man came along, and then they banked it on this man being everything that they needed, when in reality, it was them the whole time. It was them the whole time. They were the missing key to their fulfillment and their happiness. It all started with self. So keep that in mind. The work ain't for nothing. So regardless of how your life goes, it's still going to benefit you no matter what.
Hearing women talk about, oh, Drew Afualo said what she said, da 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 da. First of all, the clip was from 3 years ago, according to Drew. But I want to touch on the part where a lot of the women that's complaining about what Drew said is like, oh, we're single and we just want to experience it. And why is this information always coming from a bitch in a relationship? Because these bitches in a relationship, myself included, can see that you don't love yourself. If we take away your money, if we take away your looks, if we take away the color of your skin, what do you have left? If we take away your ability to have hair and nails, what do you have left? Do you love yourself outside of those things? What do you like about you? Can you sit in a room with you for a week, no mirrors, no internet connection? A lot of y'all love yourself superficially, then get mad when a man does it, but want to sit in our face and tell us you love yourself. And that's why you're single.
Listen, let's run that back. Can you sit in a room by yourself with no mirror, no internet connection? I can. Yo, I be having a good old time with myself. I don't know about y'all. I be having a good old, I love myself. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what I'm doing. It's always going to be a good time. I don't care if I have my phone or not. I don't care if I'm with a crowd of people or this is a solo experience. I love myself. I'm always have a good time. I have good energy. I have great personality. So it don't matter where I'm at, who I'm with, who I'm having a conversation with. It's always going to be a good time. It don't matter if I'm at home and broke or I'm outside and I'm just blowing somebody else's money, because I ain't never blowing my money. But I'm saying I'm always have a good time. It don't matter where I'm at and what I'm doing. And if you can't cultivate this energy within yourself, let's work on this. Let's work on this. Hell yeah, I be in my own house cracking up, having a good old time, romanticizing my life, cooking a fabulous meal. Like, life can be beautiful if you create it. But if you're going to continue to wait on this man to come along, you just wasting precious time to create a beautiful life. Oh my goodness. Life can be beautiful when you create it. You got to create it. You cannot wait for life to just happen. You got to create it. And it's going to be way more enjoyable for you. Okay, let me see. Did I go through all of these?
She told you to love yourself on Valentine's Day and you got angry. I've watched like enough of the think pieces that I still just can't get it, honestly. It just sounds so miserable to me. And I hate when people go out of their way to misunderstand something that's really just so clear. Now, the thing that people are saying, like, oh, well, that doesn't mean we don't need romantic love. I hate when people in relationships tell us to love them ourselves. It's like, okay, no one's saying you don't need romantic love. Okay, whatever, cool. Right. But it's already Valentine's Day. That's what you're saying. It's Valentine's Day. Like, you've already made it to Valentine's Day without romantic love. So the best thing you can do is just love yourself. Or just kick it. It's still like Valentine's Day is a holiday built around capitalism, so everyone can go buy roses and bears and think that, oh, well, if no one did this for you, then that's because they don't love you. So everybody, you should have someone that loves you year round. But that's beside the point. I don't want to get into my TED talk. What else was supposed to be said though? That's what I'm really wondering. Whenever you see people that like are giving you all these think pieces on why they hated what the person said and how they felt about it and their interpretation, you're okay, well, what did you want her to say then?
That's what I really need the girls to answer that. Like, two things, seriously. I need the married couples or the women that are in healthy, loving relationships. Can you please comment the right place, the right person and time of your special situation with the person that you're in a relationship with? And then also to the girls that do this, right? What do you want us to what do you want us to say? Because this is a very now, like, I don't know what to say, because I'm just like, well, shoot, I'm not gonna say nothing at all. I'm just not gonna say nothing at all. But what are you looking for women to tell you though? Like, you don't want us to be positive because it's sounding like you feel like it's fake positivity, even though it's real advice for a lot of women who have been successful with this, right? But then also another thing too is the women that you speak negatively about yourself in front of other people. Do you want us to chime in and be like, yeah, girl, you look ridiculous, or yeah, girl, you have gained weight? Like, what do you want us to say? It just puts us in a very uncomfortable position. And you know what? I'm going to say it. You know who I sound like? I sound like a man. You got me up here sounding like a man. And I don't like sounding like a man. I don't like agreeing with them. But damn, it's like you got me over here seeing where they coming from. I don't like that, y'all. Because it chips away at my ego. And this is a public platform. And I don't like it when I can see where men are coming from. It really bothers me. Like, I don't like it, y'all. Okay? But damn, this whole thing got me like, so this is what men are talking about. So this is what men be saying. This is what men be saying. This is what they be talking about. I can't stand that. So we need to tighten up. We really do. I'm glad we having this conversation, but we do. We need to tighten up. We do. We out here looking crazy all over a holiday that's pagan, that was created. Well, I can't get into that because it's a conspiracy theory. But go look at the history of Valentine's Day, and then you're going to be really looking like, why are we making this such a big deal? I don't understand. Can we tighten up, though? I mean, we out here looking crazy right now. I don't like agreeing with men. I don't. I held it down in an all-boys home. I don't like being on their team. I don't like being on their side. I don't. But it's like, damn. I'm just like, so this is what men be talking about. This is what they be talking about. And then my brother, my younger brother, I'll never forget, because it's really bad out here for both men and women. My brother, for Valentine's Day, he bought a girl a whole bucket of flowers. And so on Valentine's Day, he gave her the bucket of flowers. He went to the farmer's market and everything. I think he spent like $100 for this big bucket of flowers. And you know what the girl said? She was like, I don't like flowers. Y'all, oh my gosh, I wanted to go off on her. I told my brother, she said what? She said that she don't like flowers. My brother was so hurt, and he didn't say he was hurt, but you know when you can sense it, you can sense like, damn, right? So do you not understand that the bucket of flowers He just left it in the back of his trunk and they just died. I was so mad. I was like, wow. So this is the other side. This is the other side. I'm like, wow, y'all. I was just like, wow. I was just like, you know what? It's really crazy. It's really crazy out here. It's really crazy. It's really crazy.
Who you're single on Valentine's Day? I can't relate because I've been with my man since high school. I got a fat rock on my finger, so that sucks for you. Better luck next year. Everybody wants to pick. Well, nobody wants to be happy. You have to be so sad. Like, that's why it sounds miserable. Like, I already love myself. Now you're choosing to be like, so annoying. And oh my gosh. It's like, what else did you want her to say? Maybe it's important that she mentions, I want to, Okay. Fine. Then you go. We want you to start your podcast so you can speak on it the way that you want to speak on it. I actually want to hear your perspective. Thank you.
Y'all, I was so mad about that. I felt so bad. I was like, damn, so this is what the other side is like? And then you know how men are. It only has to happen once for them not to ever do again. Because, once you hurt their feelings, it's the end of the world. It's the rest of their life. We as women, we could put ourselves back out there again and again and again. But when a man go through that, they don't ever recover for real. So I had to speak life into my brother. I was like, you know what? That's just not the girl for you. If she can't appreciate you going out of your way to show love on Valentine's Day by buying her flowers, like, it was really, even if she didn't like the damn flowers, it was all about the thought. It was all about the thought. It was about the care. That's all, y'all. I still don't like that girl to this day. I don't like her. She's negative. I don't like her. I'm like, somebody go out of their way to do something for you, even if you don't really like it, and then you just gonna be like, I don't like flowers, and then not even accept them? Like, that is crazy. That is crazy. So I don't think my brother ever been the same since. When men go through stuff like that, it really changes them. It changes them. Thank you for the super chats. I'm gonna have to read them back later because I got another video. Dang, did I play that one? Oh, wait. No, it's this one. I'm gonna end it with this, y'all. This is some really good advice.
Pseudo-intellectualism is the reason why there's so much discourse on this app, also just in humanity, right? There's a creator who's upset with advice that Drew Afualo gave to Ananiah 3 years ago about self-love and being single and how you should feel. I need people to understand that advice is not Bible, and it may not fit your narrative, or it may not suit you and your purpose, nor validate you in the way that you need to. With that being said, not everything needs to become a think piece just because you do not like a little piece of the information that was given or the entire thing. Sometimes it's okay to just move on and realize that was not for me. I don't agree with it, and I'm going to move on. We should not try to burn everyone at the stake just because they have a difference of opinion, ideology, mindset.
This also includes Cindy, y'all. I know a lot of y'all don't agree with her on this, but she has every right to feel how she feels, even though the advice that Drew gave probably wasn't fitting for her. It may have been fitting for someone else, like myself, maybe you in the chat. So listen, it is what it is. I'm not going to take the advice, but it's somebody out there that may take it, and it may work for them. It may actually work for them. So it is what it is.
Or even how they cope with shit. Now, they're a Trump supporter, do what you please. But what I'm really getting at is this. Not everything's a one size fit all. Y'all need to stop looking for a one size fit all. Process the information instead of using emotion. Use logic. Cope and move on. Not everything has to be so long and trivial and big. Not everything's a gotcha moment, especially when it comes to advice that wasn't even solicited for you by you. And again, it's advice, which is just guidance and or a recommendation. And guess what? You don't have to take those recommendations, mama. Move on.
I agree. I agree. So that's all I really wanted to say, y'all, when it comes to this whole entire situation. I know people are mad at Cindy, but I used to be where she was at one point in my life, you know? I was at one point. So I'm not really mad at her. Like, I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at the women that are frustrated because Valentine's Day is always that reminder of what you don't have. But can we start changing our thought process? Can we start changing our perspective? I do agree with Drew because I believe in the importance of opening up your heart chakra in order for you to receive what you're asking for. And it can also be new friends. Like, maybe you haven't been out here making new friends or creating new relationships like associates or acquaintances because your heart chakra is closed off. Maybe you jaded because of an ex-friend. Maybe you're jaded because of a sibling. Maybe you're jaded because of your mother. Like, in order for you to attract the right people into your life, you have to open up your heart chakra. You cannot be guarded. Everything is going to run from you. So if you really want to be magnetic and you want to attract new people into your life, you got to do the work by opening up your heart chakra. It may involve you going to therapy. It may involve you healing yourself emotionally. It may involve you doing your shadow work. If you want new people into your life, if you truly want companionship, if you truly want community, you have to position yourself to receive that opportunity. And on my other page, I literally said that a lot of people focus on opportunities outside of themselves. And the number one opportunity that you have that you don't take advantage of is the opportunity to change, to grow, to change your perspective so that you can position yourself to receive the things that you are desiring. The only thing that you have control over in this lifetime is to heighten your chances of receiving the things that you truly desire. You don't have control over how things are the timing of things or the person that you meet or where you meet them. The only thing that you have control over is heightening your chances. That's it. Positioning yourself. That's it. Creating that attraction energy by opening up your heart chakra, by putting yourself out there more. Not just, oh, I'm on the dating apps and that's it. Like, you actually have to leave your house. You have to put yourself out there. You may even have to step outside of your comfort zone. The only thing that you can do is heighten your chances. Create the luck by taking the opportunity to change your life, to position yourself to receive what you're asking for or what you're desiring. It's all about how you look at it. It's all about your mindset and your perspective. So that's all that I have regarding this situation. Like I said, I don't really have an issue with any of the women that came up here and spoke. I think it's really based off of their experiences and just where they are in life. And I'm going to give them grace because I used to be there at one point in my life. Like, I used to think from a victimhood mentality. Why me? Whoa, it's me. I don't understand. And after like doing a lot of work on myself and like really working on my internal issues with self-worth, feeling in lack, scarcity mindset, and all of that stuff, just not wanting to accept the things that are out of my control. I once too was a lot of these women in this video. So that's all that I have regarding this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you think that this could help a single woman that you know that is just not in a good place when it comes to her singlehood, please share this video with her. This is all love. This is all compassion. This is all care. And I hope to see you in my next one. I will be uploading my juice cleanse, my 45-day juice cleanse. It will be on my second YouTube channel if you're interested in that. And the juicing recipe that I said I was going to share, it's on my Instagram lifestyle page if you're wanting to see my favorite juice recipe that I used during my 45-day cleanse. But stay tuned for the 45-day cleanse video where I detail everything. I tell you what I ate, what I didn't eat. I tell you what I did during this 45-day cleanse and the spiritual enlightenment that I got from the experience. So stay tuned for that. And I hope to see you in my next one. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day.